Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into an absolute thriller of a match. I mean, this game delivered a genuine masterclass in football tactics, momentum, and pure individual brilliance. We are, of course, looking at the 2026 World Cup semifinal clash between England and Argentina. It's a fixture that literally had everyone on the edge of their seats. But today, we're not just going to sit here and summarize the game. We're going to deconstruct exactly why one specific player, Enzo Fernandez, completely changed the landscape of this monumental matchup.
So you gotta wonder, right? How does a single long-range strike completely dismantle a World Cup semifinal? I know it sounds a bit hyperbolic, but in top-tier knockout football, the margins are razor thin. We're gonna bypass the usual play-by-play agenda today to really hone in on this central mystery. As you'll see, a perfectly orchestrated game plan can be completely upended by one fulcrum moment. And we're going to look at how Enzo Fernandez served as the absolute catalyst for a historic momentum shift.
Section 1. A tense semifinal clash.
Heading into kickoff, the sheer difference in philosophy between these two sides was striking. On one side, you've got England bringing in this fresh, youthful energy. They made 3 changes from their quarterfinal against Norway, deploying a completely different back four with Reece James and Jed Spence replacing Konsa and O'Reilly as fullbacks. Plus, Morgan Rogers was preferred to start. On the flip side, Argentina fielded an almost identical lineup from their previous match, featuring 10 players who already held World Cup winners' medals. The only change was Giuliano Simeone bringing fresh legs for Rodrigo de Paul. It was classic youth and tactical rotation versus heavily seasoned, battle-tested veterans.
And honestly, the ultimate symbol of that massive experience gap? 206. That staggering number represents Lionel Messi's international caps going into this game. Compare that to Harry Kane, who, while making history as England's most capped outfield player in this match, was sitting at 121 caps. The legacy, the thousands of high-pressure scenarios Messi and this Argentine core had navigated together, well, it immediately communicates the immense, almost intimidating wealth of experience England's young squad was up against.
As you can probably imagine, with 21 years of waiting and a spot in the World Cup final on the line, the opening moments were incredibly tight. Like the broadcast noted at the time, the tension on the field, those smiles, the handshakes, long gone. It was a first half filled with serious bite, little bit of spite, and very little attacking fluidity. Neither side wanted to be drawn into making the first fatal mistake. It was a complete tactical stalemate, with both teams just sizing each other up, waiting for an opening.
Section 2. England takes the lead. Now, look at how perfectly this tactical trap utilizes England's fresh legs in transition. Step 1. Harry Kane drops deep and expertly spots Morgan Rogers making a forward run. Step 2. Rogers, playing brilliantly on the right, does what he does best, traveling with the ball, using his fantastic forward surge, and delivering a pinpoint cross. And step 3, right there waiting is Anthony Gordon, in the perfect place at the exact right time to finish it off. England's youth executed the manager's plan to absolute perfection.
The impact of that goal was immediate and massive. You could hear the broadcasters shouting, "The world champions are on the ropes!" And they really were. England's tactical gamble had totally paid off. They were rattling the seasoned veterans. Space was starting to open up, Jude Bellingham was driving at the opposition, and it genuinely looked for sure like England had found the blueprint to dismantle the defending champions.
Section 3. Fernandez changes the game.
But here's the thing. Fernandez's game-changing moment? It wasn't just some random fluke. It was a steady, deliberate escalation. In the tense first half, it was Fernandez who registered the most dangerous moment with a crackerjack of a long-range shot. Then, into the second half, with Argentina trailing, he forced a brilliant fingertip save from Jordan Pickford. He was calibrating, testing the waters. And then came the turning point, a short corner routine where he finally finds his mark, smashing in the equalizer.
And wow, what a strike it was. The commentary absolutely nailed it. This one's an absolute beauty. He smashed in the equalizer. Listen, this wasn't just a goal, it was a pure statement. Enzo Fernandez took a ball from outside the penalty area and just drove it home with sheer brilliance. It perfectly countered England's momentum out of absolutely nowhere. Suddenly it's 1-1, and the entire landscape of the match is completely rewritten.
So we have to ask ourselves, how did one single strike completely flip the momentum of the entire game? Just a minute before that ball hit the back of the net, England was comfortable, they were using their pace and transition perfectly. But sports are intensely psychological. When a player produces a moment of undeniable, undefendable magic like Fernandez did, it doesn't just change the scoreline on the board. It injects absolute belief into one side and plants a devastating seed of doubt in the other.
Section 4. The ultimate momentum shift.
This quote from the game perfectly captures the physical and emotional transformation that just totally took over the pitch. Argentina have got the wind in their backs and energy in their legs. Remember those 10 returning World Cup winners we talked about? Suddenly, they didn't look like tired veterans playing from behind. They looked like champions who had just remembered exactly who they were. The equalizer instantly breathed life into them, transforming a previously rattled squad into a relentless attacking machine. And the barrage that followed was just unprecedented. The sheer volume of pressure England found themselves under was relentless. You had a sensational save from Pickford against a brilliant Messi cross. Then Alexis McAllister hits not just one, but both posts. And from there, it became a total bombardment. Header after header after header. Like the broadcast noted at the time, England just couldn't stop the supply and they couldn't deal with the men in the box. The momentum shift was absolute.
Section 5. Argentina secures the final. So now we're deep into the 12th added minute. The game is literally hanging by a thread. Lionel Messi gets the ball out wide. And you know, everyone expects him to chop inside onto that legendary left foot of his, right? But he fakes left, goes down the right line instead. He delivers a beautiful, standing cross that is absolutely on the money. And right there is Lautaro Martinez, climbing majestically, hanging in the air, totally unmarked, to thump the header into the back of the net. 2-1 Argentina. The comeback is complete.
Now, looking impartially at the history of the tournament, there's a fascinating and admittedly painful parallel here for England supporters. Let's compare the 2018 World Cup semifinal against Croatia to this 2026 semifinal against Argentina. In both matches, England executed early on and scored first. In both matches, the opposition found an equalizer. And in both matches, the opposition ultimately secured a 2-1 victory to advance to the final. It brings the narrative full circle, doesn't it? Showing how despite tactical evolutions and totally new personnel, history can remarkably repeat itself on the biggest stage.
So, what should we really take away from all of this? I think the big question is, just how fragile is momentum when a single moment of individual brilliance can dismantle a perfect tactical plan? England did so much right here. They had the youth, the transition play, the lead, but Enzo Fernandez showed us that a single, devastating strike can completely flip the psychology of a match, reviving a team of veterans and ultimately changing the course of a World Cup. It's a real testament to the unpredictable, beautiful nature of the sport. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If this sparked your curiosity about the deeper tactical layers of the game, stay tuned, because there is always more to uncover.